Hello everybody, welcome to today's midweek special. So today we're going to make some basic soft cheese. So what I've got here, I've just got a small pan and I'm going to add to the pan a litre of milk. Now I'm using full cream milk here, so I want a nice creamy cheese. Let's move that out of the way. I'm just going to pop this over the fire. Now this is going to be heated quite gently, so I've just got a small fire going here. And to that I'm going to add a mixture of citric acid and water and salt. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And I'm just going to gradually heat this up here, just stirring it all the time. So this is going to take just a couple of minutes just to start by heating this up. Now you can make all sorts of different cheeses from some very basic ingredients. Your citric acid could be some lemon juice or some yogurt culture, quite often added to cheese to make that, to get it to turn. Now this needs to be stirred and heated gently, so I've just got a small fire on the go underneath there. I'm just going to move that out just a little bit. I have to keep my handle up so I don't want that getting hot. So I'm just going to stir this gently. Once it starts to get to sort of blood temperature, then I will transfer it to here. So it just needs to heat up gently on the top there. So it's just still quite cold at the moment. So citric acid will be used to separate the curds and the whey. And also once it gets up to temperature and it starts to cool, I will add rennet to it, and that also will help the curds to set. That's really up to temperature now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that on there for now, just to keep heating up. I'll just stir it every now and again, just to see how it's doing. Now, what we're going to do, I've got some here that I prepared a little while ago, earlier on today. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain the curds and the whey through a colander type dish here. It's just got lots of holes in it, and I'm standing it in the big bowl so it catches all the whey. Now, I'm going to put a cheesecloth in here, so it's just an open, very open muslin weave cloth. And then we're just going to gently tip this in through the cloth to separate the curds and whey. As you can see, we've got a nice bit of curds in the bottom there. So I'm just going to lift this up gently. Right, I'm just going to give this another stir just to make sure that's not sticking to the bottom. We don't want it to stick to the bottom because then we'll end up with burnt cheese and then it won't be a very nice taste. This will probably take about 10 to 15 minutes to get up to temperature and just sit at around about 75 degrees. So we heat it up to sort of blood temperature first, 38 degrees, 37 degrees, then heat it up a little bit more. So that's doing nicely. That's just temperature. Yeah, that's fine. That's getting warmer now, so that's okay. We leave that. Now this has drained through just a little bit here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get another bowl. So I'm just going to transfer this from here onto this one. So there we go. That's the whey there. We're going to get rid of that for a minute. So that's just there we go. That's just all the liquid out of the bottom there. Just pop that over there. Now what we're going to do with this is we want to get as much of the whey out of it as possible. So we're just going to gently squeeze this. You don't want to squeeze it too much because if we squeeze it too much, it will actually come out through the holes of the cloth. We just want to get the excess whey out of there. Just going to gently squeeze that. Let's have a look at that. It's still a bit wet there, so it's just going to keep squeezing that for a little bit longer. Okay, let's get rid of that as well. So you can see there's still a little bit of liquid coming out here now. Okay, I'm just going to stand this in a bowl for a moment, just there. Just leave that for a minute. I'll just check this one. Oh, so that's doing nicely now. That's starting to separate already. We've got the curds floating to the top. So that's just been on there for about 5 minutes or so now. So I'm just going to leave that to heat just for a little bit longer. Okay, just leave that one for a bit longer. Okay, we can have a look at this cheese that we've got now. So I think, yep, that's quite a dry cheese now. It's a little bit elasticy, this one. I'm going to put that on there. Just put that for a moment. So there we have our cheese. So it's a nice soft cheese. It's a little bit elasticy, so it's a little bit like a mozzarella type cheese. Now to this, you can then add some flavours if you wanted to. That's quite nice, very bit bland. So I'd probably add some salt to this, just to give it a little bit more flavour, and then it can be preserved. But as you can see, there's still a little bit of liquid coming out here. I may return it to the cheesecloth and squeeze it for just a little bit more. And this can then be pressed and made into a hard cheese, or it can be eaten fresh. So there you go. There's your cheese. That's your basic soft cheese. So we're just going to have a look at this again. So this is separating nicely now. This is just doing lovely. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to leave this just for a couple more minutes, and then take it off of the fire and leave it to stand for about 15 to 20 minutes, and that should separate up nicely. And as it cools, it will separate, and then we can put it through the cheesecloth as we did with the other one. So there you go. That's just basic cheese making. Very simple, very straightforward. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon.